Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. Today, we're doing something a little different. We're zeroing in on just one really influential source. We're going to unpack insights from a book review of Jhumpa Lahiri's fantastic debut novel, The Namesake. Our mission, well, it's to really extract those essential nuggets, about identity, belonging, the immigrant experience, and show how this one specific story can illuminate these, well, truly universal truths that resonate with all of us.
And it's a profound journey, absolutely. The Namesake, it came out in 2003. That was right after her Pulitzer for Interpreter of Maladies, remember? And this novel, it's always described as deeply moving. It just captures something essential about living sort of between two worlds.
Yeah, between two worlds.
Yeah.
That really sums it up. So to get at its power, we really need to start at the beginning. With the main characters, Ashok and Ashima Ganguly. They're a young couple from Calcutta moving to Massachusetts back in the 1960s. And right off the bat, Lahiri gives us this crucial detail. Their son is named Gogol. After the Russian writer Nikolai Gogol, it's flagged as an unusual choice that carries deep symbolic weight. It really sets the stage.
Oh, completely. That name, Gogol, it becomes the absolute emotional core. As he grows up, he's just grappling constantly with his name, this unusual name, and with his dual identity, the cultural expectations, often unspoken, What's so fascinating, I think, is how Lahiri tracks his whole journey, childhood to adulthood. And she explores these really complex themes, love, family, loss, alienation, self-discovery, too. And the narrative just flows so seamlessly between India and America. It portrays that immigrant experience with, well, real tenderness and honesty.
That journey, childhood to adulthood, it sounds like a classic coming-of-age story for Gogol. But you said it moves seamlessly between India and America. How does she manage that, weaving those two places together without it feeling sort of disjointed? And how does that add to the tenderness and honesty?
Well, I think it's down to her incredible restraint, actually, her style. She doesn't go for, like, big dramatic pronouncements or obvious cultural clashes. Instead, she really grounds it all in the small things, the everyday details, shared meals, quiet chats, family rituals. By focusing on those intimate moments, she shows how these two worlds just coexist within the family, sometimes easily, sometimes with tension. And that delicate balance, it lets you feel the characters' internal lives, their humanity. You're not just observing them.
Yeah, right. Making the everyday feel profound. That's skillful. And that's where it gets really interesting, isn't it? Because through Gogol's very personal story, Lahiri shines a light on these much bigger ideas, like identity and belonging. Gogol's discomfort with his name, it isn't just about the name itself. It directly reflects his deeper struggle, doesn't it, with who he actually is. The name is almost like a physical symbol of that internal fight.
Exactly. And that ties right into the immigrant experience. It's portrayed with such nuance.
Yeah.
The novel shows this real generational gap. You have the distinct challenges Ashoka and Ashima face the first generation. They often carry that quiet ache for what they left behind. And then you contrast that with Gogol, the second generation, and his feeling of cultural disconnection. He's wrestling with being in between.
So it's often that subtle tension, not just open conflict, being caught between worlds. And amidst all that, there's also this beautiful portrayal of family and tradition. It shows how those connections bind families, even across huge distances, across generations. They offer comfort, but sometimes they complicate things too, right? And the whole idea of names. It's not just a side plot. It's this powerful thread woven all the way through. It keeps asking, how much can a label really shape your sense of self? And finally, there's that layer of cross-cultural conflicts. Navigating Bengali traditions and American values. It creates moments that are, well, sometimes funny, sometimes quite tense.
And what's really remarkable, as we've sort of touched on, is Jhumpa Lahiri's writing style itself. It's just got this elegance, this restraint, this emotional precision. The prose seems simple on the surface, but it's incredibly layered. She captures those everyday details we mentioned, the meals, the talks, the rituals. And through them, she weaves in these profound questions about identity, about belonging. The tone feels very intimate, but also universal. It really conveys that quiet ache of displacement and the search for self. It's almost like what she doesn't say, the lack of overt emotional declarations makes you feel the character's inner worlds even more strongly.
That's a really powerful way to put it. Her craft. Makes you think about our own everyday interactions, doesn't it? The unspoken weight. Now, you listening might be thinking, okay, but why is The Namesake so appealing to me? Well, its popularity isn't just luck or just a good story. It really comes down to the universality of its themes, identity, belonging, family. They go way beyond the specific cultural setting. There's also its emotional honesty. Lahiri makes small moments feel huge, incredibly profound. Plus, its cultural relevance is undeniable. It resonates deeply with immigrant communities everywhere. And, of course, that excellent 2006 film adaptation by Miraner helped bring it to an even wider audience, too.
Yeah, and if we connect this to different kinds of readers, the namesake really hits home in specific ways. For immigrants and first-generation readers, Ashok and Ashima's struggles,
Hmm.
they just deeply reflect that loneliness, the nostalgia, the challenge of balancing old ways with a new culture.
Hmm.
It offers this huge sense of validation, you know, feeling seen in their sacrifices.
That validation must be incredibly meaningful, someone capturing that feeling so well.
Absolutely. And it extends to the second-generation children, too, the ones like Gogol. His inner conflict, Bengali roots versus American upbringing, it mirrors what so many people navigating two worlds go through. It helps them see that their confusion, their identity crises, even their rebellion, it's not just them. It's a shared experience, and that can lead towards self-acceptance, maybe even reconnecting with their heritage. Then for young adults and college students, Gogol's journey works as a coming-of-age story. It prompts reflection on their own identity, values, choices. It shows self-discovery as integration, not necessarily rejecting the past.
So it's broader than just the immigrant narrative. It touches anyone figuring out their place.
That's exactly right. And if you're simply a reader interested in cross-cultural experiences, the novel is this incredible window into the lives of Indian families abroad. It builds empathy, goes beyond stereotypes. For parents of migrant children, Ashima and Ashok's journey can help them appreciate what their own kids might be facing. Realizing these identity conflicts are, well, almost a natural part of growing up between cultures. And look, for lovers of family and relation stories, at its core, it's just a powerful story about family bonds, love, loss. It connects emotionally through themes of sacrifice, generational shifts, even for general readers and literature lovers, maybe without personal ties to immigration. The writing itself, accessible yet deep, it resonates. It asks those universal questions. Who am I? Where do I belong? What makes me me? So yeah, to sum up that impact, immigrants feel understood, second-gen kids find clarity, parents gain empathy, and general readers reflect on identity and belonging. It's a book that genuinely touches hearts and minds. That's why it holds that strong 4.5 out of 5 rating. It's seen as a timeless exploration of these fundamental themes.
So what does this all mean for you, the listener? The Namesake is clearly this profound, moving novel. It beautifully captures the complexities of identity, the immigrant experience. It's just a brilliant example of how a specific, deeply personal story can tap into something universal, exploring those subtle but powerful ways that culture, family, even something like a name shapes who we become.
And that leaves us with a question for you to mull over, really. How much of your own identity, maybe like Gogol's, is shaped or challenged by the names you carry? Or the traditions you inherit, the places you find yourself in? Is that search for belonging ultimately about finding a physical place, a home? Or is it more about finding a way to integrate all the different pieces of who you are?